So it's the first night of Hanukkah, and Perkins is all set to help Gigi light the menorah. Actually, it's called a Hanukkah for Hanukkah, and I want to show you how cute mine is. You see, it's got all the kitty cats on it. Now, I'm about to read you a story and tell you all about Hanukkah. Hi! Welcome to Gigi's place. It's my favorite time of the year. Come on in. Let's have some fun. The first thing we do is light the shamash, which is the helper. Now, you're not supposed to use a lighter, but Gigi doesn't have any matches. So, you light the helper, or the shamash, the servant candle, and then you take that one and you light the one on the far right first. So on the first night of Hanukkah, you light one candle and you let it burn all the way down. And then the next night, you gotta have a new candle, right? And Perkins, maybe you shouldn't get your nose up there. And then the next night, you light the one on the end and then the one next to it until you've gotten them all lit. What do you think? Perkins, happy Hanukkah. Hi there. Welcome back to Gigi's place. I'm sitting here in front of my little Hanukkah with the candle lit because this is the first night of Hanukkah. And I want to tell you all about Hanukkah. This is a big part of the winter Christmas season for the Jewish people. And I have a book I want to read to you, and it's called, oh, I'm sorry about the glare, I can't get a place. It's called The Story of Hanukkah, and it's by David Adler. I wrote to him and asked him for permission to read it, and he was so nice and said yes, I could. So I'm going to read it to you and try and show you the pictures. The word is Hanukkah. Can you say that? Hanukkah. Gigi's studying Hebrew in school. In fact, I just finished my Hebrew homework. Okay, so here is a picture that says the Hanukkah story begins in Israel a long time ago when the land was called Judea. At that time, the Jews who lived there were farmers and shepherds. Now, the Jews that live in Israel today, there's lots of farmers and there's lots of shepherds, but there's bankers and there's lawyers and there's doctors and there's teachers and there's just every kind of person you can imagine. But this was a long time ago when they were mostly farmers and shepherds. On holidays, they all went to the temple, a beautiful temple, and it was in Jerusalem. The temple was on top of a mountain, and it was called the House of God. Its gates were covered with gold and silver, and inside was a light that always burned. This is a picture of the people going up to the temple, and inside was a light that burned all the time. So, for a long time, the Jews lived in peace, although they didn't rule their own land. The Greeks were rulers, and there was a king whose name was Antiochus IV. He tore down the walls of Jerusalem. Thousands were killed. Anyone who lit Sabbath candles, studied Jewish law, or refused to bow to the Greek idols were put to death. I'd say he wasn't a very good king. The king's men came to the town of Modin. They demanded that the priest, whose name was Mattathias, worship one of their gods. Mattathias refused. He threw down the idol and he called out, "Whoever is for the Lord our God, come join me." Mattathias ran to the hills, and his 5 sons and many other Jews followed him. Antiochus' army chased after Mattathias, but when the soldiers came near, brave Jews who were hiding behind large rocks and inside caves attacked. Then they ran back to the hills and hid. Mattathias and his followers were farmers and shepherds, but they fought like trained soldiers. When Mattathias died, his son Judah became their leader. Judah was called the Maccabee, remember that word, which means the hammer. And the people who fought with him were called Maccabees. This is a really good picture of Judah and all of his followers. See, they were shepherds, so there's sheep in that picture as well. Well, the king's armies came with bows and arrows and swords and horses and elephants, but they weren't able to beat the Maccabees. I love this picture. Look at the elephants. You don't often think about people that live in the desert as having elephants, but they did. Well, in the final battle, there were more than 6 armed soldiers for every one Maccabee. But still the mighty army of Antiochus was defeated. Judah then led the Maccabees to Jerusalem. The Maccabees cried when they saw their temple ruined and filled with garbage. But you know what? They got busy and they cleaned it. They built a new altar, new gates, and new doors. Here they are busy working in their temple. Isn't that fun? They saw it all destroyed, but they decided to just build a new one. When it came time to light the lamp, the big lamp, they found just one small jar of the pure oil that they had to use to light this lamp. And it was only enough to burn for one day. It took 8 days for them to prepare the pure oil for the lamp. But you know what? That one day's worth of lamp oil continued to burn for all 8 days. How about that? Until the new oil could be prepared. Look, here's a picture of them with the lights. See, they didn't have electricity in those days. They couldn't just switch on lights like we can that make everything burn, like the lights inside my little camel here, or the light over there, or the light over there, or the light up there. They didn't have lights like that. They only had the oil lamp. On the 25th day of the Hebrew month of Kislev, the temple again became the house of God. Judah declared that every year on that day, an 8-day holiday would begin, and the holiday was called Hanukkah, which means dedication. It celebrates the day that the temple was rededicated. And you know what? That was more than 2,000 years ago. Isn't that a beautiful picture? All the families going up to the temple, and look at the lamps. Now, a traditional lamp like this has 7. Can you see them? Let's see. Let's try this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the one in the middle makes 7. But the Hanukkah has 8. Isn't that fun? Today, all over the world, Jewish families celebrate Hanukkah by lighting candles, singing special Hanukkah songs, and eating, oh, my favorite, latkes, potato pancakes. And with the potato pancakes, you get applesauce sometimes. Yum. And special jelly donuts. They're prepared in oil, which remind the Jewish people of the Hanukkah miracle. In many homes, people exchange Hanukkah gifts. I know families where the children are very excited about Hanukkah because they get a gift every night for 8 nights. Children also play a game with a 4-sided spinning top called a dreidel. On each side of the dreidel is a different Hebrew letter. The first letters of a Hebrew sentence, I'm going to read it to you in Hebrew, Nes Gadol Haya Sham, which means a great miracle happened there. Hey, if you only have enough oil to burn your candle for one day and it lasts 8 days, I'd say that's a miracle, wouldn't you? It happened in Jerusalem. Hanukkah celebrates one of the first fights for religious freedom. Now, you know what? If you got a hold of this book, The Story of Hanukkah, let me show you what you would have in there after you finish reading the story. You'd have a recipe for potato pancakes, and you'd have the directions for how to play the dreidel. Now, isn't that fun? You know, there's holidays that are celebrated all over the world by lots of different people. Many countries have special holidays. We have special holidays here in America for the day that we celebrate the United States birthday. I used to live in a country called the United Arab Emirates, and they just had their birthday celebration. That's a special holiday for their country. So for the country of Israel, the celebration of Hanukkah is a big deal. They don't celebrate Christmas, Jewish people. They celebrate Hanukkah. And it's fun when it comes at the same season as our Christmas time, winter time, because candles and Christmas lights and things like that figure very big in our Christmas celebration. But somehow the fun of lighting the Hanukkah candles is just really special too. Gigi does both, Hanukkah and Christmas. Because we celebrate the holiday of Christmas, which is Jesus' birthday, and it comes on the 25th of December, the same exact day every year, but it's in the wintertime. In my part of the world, it's in the wintertime. Hey, I've got friends in Australia that have Christmas in the summertime because their world is different than ours. But because Jesus' birthday is celebrated in December, it's usually cold where I live, and the Christmas lights, the twinkling lights, and the cold weather, and the hot chocolate, and all that stuff is just part of Christmas. Well, it's always nice, I would assume, for the Jewish people that celebrate Hanukkah to have the same thing. They love lighting their lights and playing their games and eating their special foods and being with their families, all the things we love about Christmas. It's not strange and it's not bad, it's just different, and I think it's beautiful, don't you? Now tonight I should say, is the first night of Hanukkah. And each night for the next 8 nights, we'll be lighting candles and thinking about that miracle that happened so long ago. But for people who know about Jesus, we think about a different miracle that happened so long ago. And when I light my candles, I remember that Jesus told us he was the light of the world. And that's a good thing to remember too. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And just reach out to people and be a little bit kind during this Christmas season, okay? And happy Hanukkah. I'm going to pray for you. Father God, I thank you for holidays. I love holidays. I love being with my family. I love all the fun, the decorations, the foods, the memories, the funny stories. And I just love the fact that we get to celebrate your son's birth. The biggest miracle that's happened to a lot of us was you sending him to this world for us. I thank you for each and every one of my friends out there. For those who are listening to me tell them a story they've probably never heard before, and maybe some who absolutely celebrate Hanukkah every year in their families. I thank you for them, and I ask that you would bless them this day and every day. In Jesus' name. Have a good week. Bye.